This is no ordinary guitar. It is the work of a modern-day craftsman carrying on the tradition of the old world masters. With Anthony Mason, we give a listen.
In his Long Island workshop, 64-year-old John Monteleone builds guitars completely by hand.
You taught yourself how to do this.
I did.
How long did that take?
It's still taking time. I'm still learning.
Monteleone works alone. Well, not entirely. The spirit of his father, Mario Monteleone, still guides him.
He was trained as a sculptor.
Mm-hmm. And this is some of his work?
Yes, and here you see he's working in his uncle's studio. All that information came together and I'm able to put it into my own work. My dad was extremely influential.
Do you think of each guitar you make as its own work of art?
I do. Each one is like a performance.
And now you're in the Metropolitan Museum.
Yeah, I know. Who knew?
How does that feel?
It feels quite amazing.
Monteleone is one of the featured makers in the exhibition Guitar Heroes at New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. His work showing next to the Italian master Antonio Stradivari.
So Stradivari made this when?
1700. Wow. And actually, you can see his signature on the back of the peg stock here.
But curator Jason Dobney says the exhibition focuses on 3 Italian-American masters.
These are all from D'Angelico's workshop.
Starting with John D'Angelico, who opened a store in New York's Little Italy in 1932.
It was a small shop. He made about 1,200 instruments during his lifetime.
D'Angelico, yeah, I was aware of his instruments, and he was a hero of mine.
D'Angelico developed a devoted following of musicians like legendary guitarist Bucky Pizzarelli.
The beauty of this guitar is the sound of the thump you get.
Pizzarelli still owns 2 D'Angelicos. He remembers showing one to another legendary guitarist, the late Les Paul.
He picked up the guitar, took it home with him. He had it there for a whole year.
Pizzarelli finally had to call Paul, who had his own line of guitars, to ask for it back.
He said, I'll give you 2 Les Paul guitars for it. I said, I don't want 2 Les Pauls. I just want my D'Angelico back.
D'Angelico had no children, but his apprentice, James D'Acquisto, who inherited the shop, was like a son to him.
The stronger and more secure that joint is, the better the guitar's going to sound.
D'Acquisto, seen here in the 1986 documentary film The New Yorker Special, would build guitars for Paul Simon and Steve Miller. John Monteleone has his avid fans too.
Monteleone, a mandolin's waiting for you.
Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits was so happy with the guitar he bought that he wrote a song about its maker.
Was this unexpected, this commission?
It was very unexpected.
And one customer, who commissioned an instrument called a mandola, said his mother would be paying for it as a birthday present.
I get a check in the mail from Elizabeth Taylor. He sends me this photograph. It just blew my mind.
So what are you listening for?
I'm listening for the quality of resonance, how bell-like and pure it is.
Monteleone, whose instruments now sell for about $40,000, is working on a new series of guitars with a train theme.
This would be the Santa Fe Super Chief.
Which one is this?
This is the Blue Comet. This train ran from New York City to Atlantic City.
But it's another set that he considers his masterpiece. He calls them the 4 Seasons.
You consider them inseparable?
They are always to remain together.
It took him 6 years to make them, and they were played together for the first time recently at the Metropolitan Museum.
It was a dream come true.
On this Father's Day, John Monteleone's work has made it into the same museum he used to visit with his sculptor father as a boy.
My dad would take us to the museum and we'd look at all this great stuff. Never in my wildest imagination could I think that I would ever be in a place like that. And he didn't make it, but maybe through me, he's making it.
He is.
Yeah, I think my father's with me, you know, in that spirit of things.